Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How you doing today? Well, before we get started, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, please do so. All the information is always in the description box below, so you can get a hold of me or Trish, okay? And plus, all the information we always want you guys to have is always in the description box below, okay? So we have a lot to talk about, okay? We really do. And a lot of this stuff is brought to you by and sent to me by subscribers, okay? And this is like information that they really want you guys to have because they always say in the email, please get this out to the community. Okay, so now I will never disclose like their names because they always, I always value privacy, always. So this one, the email, she says, one of the companies I order from is For Patriots, right? And you all know what For Patriots is, okay? It's freeze-dried food. So she said it's out of Salt Lake. And they do a lot of kits, 72 hour, 30 day. She said, when I ordered from them a while back, they had just gotten all of their 30-day kits back in inventory. And she said, and then this is what she said, and I'm like, light bulb. The government had bought everything for the past 6 months. So my antenna is asking, Augustin Farms? Things are starting to like make sense now. So she said, Ready Store is low, but still selling. Same thing with Mountain House, Nutristore, Saratoga Farms, Thrive, Emergency Essentials, Legacy Foods, Rainy Day Food. Augustin Farms is probably the largest. So, it's just making a light bulb going off in my head. So I wanted to bring that out to you. So, and then this email was sent to me, and she's goofy. Totally love this woman, totally. She says, grab your coffee and some chocolate. As you know, I'm in Naples, Florida. So she's a neighbor. She's about 2 hours south of me. She said, I'm former law enforcement sergeant. Hubby is road patrol sergeant currently. He went to Chipotle in his district to grab some dinner. Chipotle has a huge sign on the door that says we are currently out of beans, and they don't know when or if they're getting them back in. Now, Chipotle, as you know, that's a Mexican restaurant. How are they out of beans? That's like Taco Bell being out of taco shells. It's just strange. And so she said, I asked him to grab a picture for me, probably because she wanted to send it to me, right? And he said, woman, I have to get to a call. Darn husbands, they never obey, do they? So she says, anyway, I asked for a picture, so maybe when the craziness calms down, I'll get one. She said, I have been monitoring Targets and Aldi's and Publix down here, and our son works for a private grocery store. There is no backstock on most items at Publix. Like normally there would be several rows of the same product, and now they may have 4 to 6 total of the product. And yeah, I've noticed that too. Like when I go and I get, I buy the big cans of crushed tomatoes because that's what I use when I make my sauce. And normally they have a vast amount of crushed tomatoes. 6 on the shelf. That's it. 6. So she said chicken is actually more expensive than beef down here. Well, yeah, it is. She said, I'm going to attach some pictures. I wish that you were closer. So she gave me your phone number. Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's of the water aisle. Oh, she took a picture of the gas station. There's only regular gas at Mobil. Okay. chicken breast, $30. I told you, Publix, with that picture of the turkey for $106. Okay, look at this, Publix, $30 for chicken. You guys thought I was nuts with that $106 turkey? $30 for chicken, okay? And hang on, how much? 6 pounds of chicken, and it's $4.69 a pound. Okay, so okay, here's a chuck pot roast, boneless. Okay, $8 a pound for 3 pounds, $25. Okay, it's no joke down here. I don't know if anybody's noticed, because I know a lot of people moved down here to Florida from up north. Is the food down here more expensive than it is up there? Because that's what I noticed. All right. Thank you, Sergeant. Love you. So here's another email, okay? She said, hi, I hope you're doing well. I love to listen to you. You have such valuable information. She said, what you heard on the beans being stored in the military is correct. So the video that I did yesterday on the making me want to stockpile even more, because it does, okay? She said, it's correct. I didn't want to comment on the page, on the video. She said, my friend's son is in the military and is stationed, get this, in Germany, okay? The Army is doing the same thing on his base. Now, he's stationed in Germany, and they're doing the same thing there. They are storing beans like crazy, as well as seeds. He told his mom this in confidence, so please don't use my name. Well, of course not. I'm not going to use your name. Why? Because I value your privacy. Anytime anybody emails me and they want me to get information out there, I will always value your privacy. I will never say your name. So know that, okay? What is said between me and you, I will never use your name, okay? So, on to this one. My wife and I just watched your newest video. This makes me want to stockpile even more. You can mention this in a video if you want, but please don't mention my name. 100%. I will never. I work for Kraft Heinz. We make Capri Sun drinks. Now, for those of us that have little ones, okay, whether it's your children, your nieces, your nephews, your grandkids, okay? I have my niece and my nephew who's 7 and 12. They still drink, the Capri Suns, okay? I have been working there for over 20 years. I have never worked this much overtime for the stores not to have juice on the shelves. Now, for those of us that have been going to the stores and trying to stock up on juice, because I know that I have been, when I go to the store with mom or my sister, okay, and we're trying to get the Capri Suns, guess what? They're not in the stores. I've seen this myself, okay? 5 to 10 packs of the juice on the shelf is nothing compared to how much we make. We produce about 90 truckloads a day just at our plant. There are 3 plants in the U.S. that make Capri Sun drinks. My wife and I both think that they are stockpiling the juice in warehouses somewhere. Who is stockpiling? Good question. I don't see that many people buying the juice to justify working this much overtime. I was just wondering if there is anyone else in the food production business that is seeing the same thing I am seeing. Have a good day. So if you are working in the food production business like this man and his wife are, get a hold of me. I want to know your story, because this is actually getting out of control. First the beans, now it's Capri Suns. Come on, man. I want to know what's going on, and so does he, so does his wife, and so does everyone else. Where is it all going, and why is it being stored on military bases? And for who? For who? We want answers. And I think we deserve the damn answers. So, then this one. She said, hey, I was telling you and Trish that I had gotten the Augustin Farms pancake mix online from Amazon for $7. And that was a month ago. Because you had mentioned maybe you were going to get a little long-term storage. Yeah. Or a shortage, rather. Yeah. Well, last week, they were over $14 for the number 10 can. Now, tonight, same can, over $20. So a month ago, she bought the number 10 can of pancake mix for $7. Now that same can, a month later, is over $20. So this, when you okay, if you see something, say something, especially to me, because you know I'll be reporting on it. Because this is getting out of hand. She said pancake mix might be a good thing to have because you can make them like into crepes or have as a bread substitution. Absolutely. My Dollar Tree is mostly junk now and a hot mess, but they did have the brand name large bag of instant potatoes for $1. Oh, all right. Well, that's good to know. And I pick up the work gloves and the scrub brushes. Okay. She said, here's an Aldi's update. I went to the new Aldi's in Fairfield, Connecticut. Much smaller section than the old days, of course. Baby aisle had diapers and wipes, but Aldi seems to carry strictly their own brand now. The aisle is more like a section, not even half an aisle. It could be easily wiped out by only a few people in maybe a few minutes. Okay, she said, can you speak to power out minimal cooking in an apartment? Huh. That's going to be a hard one. Why? Because I don't live in an apartment. Well, it really would depend on if you had like a balcony. Trish had spoken about grid down cooking. And how about this? Friday Night Live, we will address the grid down cooking, okay? So I have a few ideas. Okay, so I will address that on Friday night. All right, hon? So I won't forget. Okay, now, 2 more things. Okay, and this is to address what's going on in Lebanon. Okay, now, there was a fire. And it destroyed 250,000 liters of petrol in a Lebanese oil facility. Okay. Now, firefighters extinguished a blaze that broke out Monday morning, so yesterday morning, in an oil facility that was south of Beirut, with Lebanese oil, the energy minister Walid Fayyad, and that's Fayyad, estimating that 250,000 liters of petrol had been destroyed in the incident. Now, he suggested that the fire had been caused by a mistake during the process of transporting the fuel that was in the tank, whose ceiling was tilted. As many as 15 fully staffed fire trucks worked to control the fire by isolating the tank to prevent the flames from spreading. Now, the fire provoked memories of the massive blast at Beirut, Port 14 months ago, which killed more than 200 people, injured thousands, and devastated the capital. People went on social media to express their fears about the fire being deliberate, while Others regretted their bad luck and the never-ending daily catastrophes. An investigation has been launched into the fire. We must wait for the results of the investigation in order to know whether anyone is responsible for whether the fire was caused by natural factors. Civil Defense Director General Brig General Raymond Kattar, and that's Khattar, said it was too early to know the causes of the fire. Now, the Lebanese army gave 6,000 kiloliters of gas oil to Electric du Liban from its reserves to reconnect the electrical grid in production plants to bring the country out of its total blackout due to fuel shortages. Now, it was said today the GIYEH, and that's JIYEH, reverse engine plant was connected to the grid with a power of 50 megawatts. The plant with a power of 210 megawatts, and the reverse engine plant in Zouk, and that's ZOUK, with a power of 120 megawatts. This quantity is enough for 3 days, after which the plant's production capacity will be replaced by another from the Zouk and thermal plants after supplying them with the fuel oil that arrived on Sunday evening, and samples of which were examined by the Bureau Veritas lab in Dubai. The total production capacity, which thus remains within limits of 500 megawatts to maintain the grid's stability. Now, the central bank has agreed to secure $100 million to conduct a bid to import fuel, which will help raise the hours of electricity supplied by the end of this month. And energy experts believed that Lebanese authorities were patching up, and that they say patching up, the electricity crisis instead of finding concrete solutions. So this article is actually very, very long. So I will leave this link in the description box below so you guys can have your references and you can read the entire article if you'd like. But there is something more important that I need to tell you about, okay? And this was sent to me by a subscriber who actually resides in Lebanon part-time. So I felt that this was pertinent and needs to be out there, okay? She says, hello, I felt compelled to write to you about Lebanon. Yes, I'm a viewer, but please keep me in private, which absolutely, I value your privacy. I will let you know my husband is Lebanese. Here in the States, I've been married for over 27 years and have traveled there many times. What a beautiful culture it is, but please don't be fooled. I know it's hard to see and watch the news, but believe you me, I happen to know this culture very well. They are used to what is happening and are survivors. They've gone through a 15-year civil war, so this is nothing to them. What most people fail to say is that they don't mention, even in the news, or people who send you info, is that many of them show their homes in the city and do not show other homes, villages. Yes, many have more than we do have here in the States. Since pretty much everyone has a separate home in the village, however small or big, they have extra property. They also fail to say that most of the women are completely done in surgeries. Yes, even with or without the headscarf, from Botox to implants to anything you can think of. Yes, it's funny what they make a priority. Also, since their culture is mixed with French, they are extremely bougie. They like everything luxury, and the pics you see in the news are not what is real life. The media shows you what it wants. Well, we all know that for a fact. We do. I'm not saying for all, but I've been traveling here for many, many years, almost 30 years. They have extremely luxurious weddings and usually work for themselves, meaning they don't work for anyone. They might show inflation and starving country, but believe you me, they eat very, very well and healthy as opposed to us because everything is fresh. Although they have fast food, they consider it garbage and eat very well. Most have kids in private schools to keep up with the Joneses because everything is a competition over there. From inside their homes to the surgeries, it's all about appearances and who has what, no matter the cost. Which is why this lovely country has ended up this way. It is a beautiful country, but their priorities are not straight as citizens, and it has caught up to them. The reason I'm telling you is because I've traveled and lived there countless times. I have 3 children who are half Lebanese. I've learned the language and the culture, but I've also learned not everything the media or anyone giving their stories is always the complete truth. Yes, my husband's family is there, and I've come to the conclusion if he doesn't worry, then why should I? The government won't change unless the people make the change, and frankly, there's too many cooks in the kitchen. And frankly, I think they are used to Italy at this point. So, thank you for that. Thank you for opening my eyes, and I'm sure the eyes of all of our subscribers. Because you're right. What they show on MSM is not always the truth. And that's why people come to YouTube, to people like me and Jason and Pinball and everybody who's the truth sayers who keeps getting strikes and yada yada shish go ba, right? Because we tell the truth. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Ciao.